Welcome to this explainer. We often think of math, especially stuff like sequences and patterns, as these rigid, abstract ideas just kind of trapped on a chalkboard, right? But today, we're unpacking an educational text that completely flips that script. We're going to explore how this seemingly simple textbook chapter brilliantly teaches the complex concept of patterns entirely through real-world observation. It is literally a masterclass in making the abstract feel incredibly tangible, and I cannot wait to dive in and show you exactly how it works.
But before we get into the nuts and bolts of the lesson, let's just start with this beautifully vibrant illustration straight from the text. I mean, look at the details here. You've got kites, festive decorations, all these distinct traditional items. The authors don't kick things off with numbers or shapes. No, they start with culture. They're showing us how abstract concepts are actually deeply rooted in the joyful, real-world celebrations that children already know and absolutely love. Because think about it, by framing a math concept inside a familiar, happy memory, the text just instantly lowers that barrier to learning. To see exactly how this chapter connects the dots for young learners, our explainer is going to follow 4 distinct stages today: seasons and local festivals, finding patterns in nature, creating hands-on patterns, and finally, art, movement, and culture. All right, let's dive right into Section 1, Seasons and Local Festivals, Finding Rhythm in Time. Time itself is really the very first pattern a child experiences. The chapter points out that local festivals like Uttarayan, Makar Sankranti, Pongal, Bihu, and Lohi, they naturally signify these cyclical patterns. They mark that super predictable transition from a freezing cold winter into a warm, sunny summer, and of course the reliable start of the harvest season. By talking about these festivals, the text is actually subtly teaching kids a huge lesson. Life isn't random. It operates on this grand repeating sequence. Moving right along to Section 2, Finding Patterns in Nature, the World Outside. So, moving from cultural calendars over to the physical environment, the text actively prompts students to really observe the animal kingdom. Just notice the distinct stripes on a tiger or the geometric layout of a turtle's shell. It's actively training their eyes to recognize that nature is literally covered in natural tessellations. Those repeating, interlocking geometric designs that just fit perfectly together without any gaps. And what's great is that the lesson doesn't stop with the animal kingdom. Beyond animals, it encourages finding repeating shapes in botany, too. It asks students to look closely at the veins in leaves, the mirror image wings of butterflies, and the radial symmetry of flowers, kind of like the vibrant purple bloom we see here. This approach effectively grounds geometry in the organic world, proving to the student that math, well, it grows right out of the soil. Okay, let's jump into Section 3, Creating Hands-on Patterns from Observation to Action. It is one thing to see a pattern, right? But it's an entirely different level of learning to actually build one yourself. The text introduces a character named Mana, who creates physical patterns by just alternating the colors of his own thumb and fingerprints. Notice those distinct pink and black impressions. It shows the student that they have the tools to create mathematical sequences quite literally at their fingertips. It's super accessible, highly engaging, and it puts the power of creation directly into their hands. The absolutely crucial point here is the focus on tactile learning. The text explicitly instructs educators and parents to encourage the use of concrete objects. It suggests having an adult help cut vegetable slices like okra or potatoes to use as stamps. It's creative, it's a little messy, and I promise you're never going to look at a potato the exact same way again. Taking this concept off a flat page and putting it physically into a child's hands really solidifies their cognitive understanding of repetition and order. To guide all of this, the project work gives students highly actionable steps to engage with their surroundings. Step 1, go out and collect everyday items. We're talking pebbles, flowers, leaves, bottle caps, maybe even bangles or bowls. Step 2, actively arrange these objects into a logical sequence. And step 3, turn that sequence into something meaningful, like a mock piece of jewelry or an art showpiece. It brilliantly turns a theoretical math problem into this fun, physical scavenger hunt and art project. I actually want to pause right here and pose the exact question the chapter asks the students. What color should come after pink, and why? Now, this isn't just a simple fill-in-the-blank exercise. The addition of that word why is the most important part of the whole thing. It challenges the student to articulate the underlying logic of the sequence they're observing. It totally transitions them from just recognizing a pattern to actually defining the rule that governs it, a real game changer. Finally, let's explore Section 4. Art, movement, and culture, full body learning.
This is where the text takes things to a whole new level, elevating patterns beyond just visual math and integrating them into physical movement. Children are actually instructed to create sequences by clapping their hands, snapping their fingers, and stamping their feet. Just think about that for a second. Clap, snap, stomp, clap, snap, stomp. It proves that a mathematical sequence isn't just something you look at, it can be something you hear with your ears and literally feel in your bones. It's rhythmic mathematics.
And to bring it all perfectly full circle, the chapter beautifully ties everything back home. It introduces two characters, Murthy and Vanny, who are practicing their understanding of geometric patterns alongside their parents by making a traditional column, or rongoli, right at their doorstep. This shows students that the math they're learning in a textbook is the exact same logic their family uses to create beautiful traditional art. It completely validates their culture through education and their education through culture. Just brilliant. So we've just walked through this really incredible educational journey together, having seen how masterfully this text trains a child's brain to recognize the structured beauty of the world, from those harvest festivals to the shell of a turtle, all the way down to the rhythm of a clapping hand. It kind of changes how you view your surroundings, doesn't it? So I want to leave you with this thought. What hidden patterns will you notice in your own daily life today? Keep your eyes open. You might be surprised at the math waiting right in front of you.